आज अपना ये चैप्टर खत्म होने वाला है. So we'll go ahead with the chapter. We had seen with auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, and ethylene as the 4 PGRs or plant growth hormones or phytohormones as we call them. And the last one, which is going to be purely an inhibitor of plant growth, is going to be your abscisic acid, which is remaining to be discussed. You know? And after that, there are two important phenomena called as photoperiodism and vernalization, which we will go ahead with in the today's session. So let's begin with our today's class, that is ABA, जिसको हम आबा के नाम से जानते हैं. We call it as ABA, that is abscisic acid, ABA. So anyone having any difficulty with the earlier things that we have completed? Anyone is having any doubts in that? If not, then I'll move ahead.
Could you explain the ethaphone of the ethylene part once again?
Yes, beta. Ethaphone is nothing. Ethaphone is going to be, see, ethylene is going to be in the gaseous form. So it's very difficult to, compress the gas and use it in the fields. So what the commercial use, for the commercial use, what they have done is, they have either, converted it or they have mixed it with an adjuvant. Now, what is an adjuvant? A substance which will hold the gas in between, okay, intracellular spaces के बीच में, and that is going to be either in the liquid form, so that they can, like directly spray it, like your how you spray your sanitizers, you can directly spray it, and from there, then the gas will be evolved, which will be used in the rifling effect. But even some, like some commercial uses are with the use of powder. So they, sometimes even spray the powder, which you can actually see on grapes, oranges, different fruits. You can actually, feel that powder. So that gas has been trapped either in the liquid form or in the solid form and has been exploited commercially. That particular commercial use में जो ethylene use किया गया है, that is going to be called as ethanol. Okay, got it? Yeah. Anything else, beta? Anyone else who have not understood anything? Yeah, it's just there to make it easy for use. Because gas को compress करके cylinders में भर के cylinders लेके जाना is very difficult, ना? So to make it more easily available and easily carryable, I would say, it has been converted. Okay? Well, okay, fine, beta. Anyone else who is having any difficulty in any of the words? Climacteric effect. Last class I had used this word, climacteric effect. पकाने disease. किसी को कोई भी इनमें डिफिकल्टी है ये वर्ड्स में? Epinasty. I told you all that I'll be asking you about epinasty. Do you all remember what is epinasty? Which is one of the characteristic feature of ethylene. किसी को याद है बेटा? What is epinasty? हाँ. Very good, Sneha Singh. Excellent. Excellent. Perfect. Yes, Ishita. Correct. Yes, Sneha. Yes, beta. Yes. So I am happy that at least few of you all are answering this. Very good, Manu. Yes, Sonali. Good. Correct. So it's bending of the leaves because of new leaf growth at the apex, causing the bending of the leaves towards the lower side, downwards. Okay, fine. Anyway, so we go ahead with the fifth PGR, that is the plant growth regulator. Yeah, my dear. Yes, Sonali, you're right. This is found in Ashoka plant. Correct, correct. Very right. Yeah. So the last one is going to be called as abscisic acid. It is mildly acidic. It's the name itself is going to be like abscisic acid. So it's going to be what? It's going to be acidic. है ना? So abscisic acid is mildly acidic growth hormone. which functions as a general growth inhibitor. So what does it do? It's going to inhibit the growth. So it's going to be a pure inhibitor. See, auxin, gibberellin, and cytokinin. They were pure what? Growth enhancers. They were enhancing growth. They were causing growth to occur. They were promoting growth. So they are growth promoters. On the other hand, abscisic acid is going to be a growth inhibitor. Okay. Ethylene in some cases is acting like a promoter. In some cases it is acting like an inhibitor. So ethylene is playing a different role in different plants basically, right? On an average, if you see, we consider ethylene to be an inhibitor itself, but it is promoting lateral growth. So when it is promoting lateral growth, we cannot purely call it as what? An inhibitor. है ना? But on and on, if you say yes, ethylene is also going to be an inhibitor. But abscisic acid is purely an inhibitor. Abscisic acid, ABA, is never going to promote growth. Okay? So it's going to be an inhibitor, complete inhibitor. Okay? So, yeah, it's going to be an inhibitor by counteracting other hormones. So the ones which are going to promote the growth, उनको ये counteract करता है. Okay, so it's going to counteract whom? Auxins, gibberellins, and cytokines. Fine. Or the reactions that are mediated by them, it will counteract them. Like in gibberellins, we have said that the alpha amylases, you remember this word enzyme called as alpha amylase. So that presence of alpha amylase will cause cell to undergo rapid food to undergo rapid conversion to make ATP. Now, what this ABA will do? It will counteract uh, uh, amylases, these alpha and beta amylases, and it will cause what? Retardation of the energy production. Okay, so it's going to directly counteract. It's going to directly be against it. Got it? Of discovery, the hormone was first isolated by a scientist called as Adicott in the year 1963 from cotton balls. They named it as abscissin 2 because it was causing. What do you mean by this word abscisic or abscission? Abscission का मतलब होता है to fall down. Okay, fall down means झड़ जाना, as we call it, झड़ जाना, है ना? तो वैसे ही because this particular chemical that they had isolated from the cotton balls was causing the falling down of, was causing the dropping down of the leaves and the cotton balls and all, they called it as abscissin 2. Fine. Now simultaneously, Waring and Conforth isolated a substance that can induce bud dormancy. डॉर्मेंसी को इंड्यूस करता है, मतलब क्या करता है? ग्रोथ प्रमोटिंग एक्टिविटी स्टॉप करता है ना, ग्रोथ होने नहीं देता है, बर्ड को बर्ड में ही रहने देता है, बर्ड को ब्लूम होने से बचाता है, राइट? सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी कॉल्ड एज व्हाट? बड डॉर्मेंसी. करेक्ट? नाउ this is going to induce bud dormancy. Fine. So they named this substance as dormant. Substance is the same. Fine. Adicott called it as what? Abscissin 2. And the same substance was called as dormant by Waring and Conforth. Same substance, same chemically it's the same. Okay. Later, both the substances were found to be same and were named as abscisic acid. Okay. It is produced in many parts of the plants, but more abundantly inside the chloroplast of green cells. Yes, this is predominantly found in the chloroplast. The synthesis of abscisic acid is stimulated by drought, waterlogging, and other adverse environmental conditions. Therefore, it is also called as stress hormone. So, whenever there is stress, अपनी स्ट्रेस की बात नहीं हो रही है, प्लांट के स्ट्रेस की बात हो रही है. हमें तो 24/7 स्ट्रेस होता ही है ना? क्या स्ट्रेस? सुबह उठने का स्ट्रेस, लेक्चर में बैठने का स्ट्रेस, आज मैम का मूड कैसे रहेगा, आज भी टाइट करेगी कि आज चुपचाप जो लेक्चर लेके ख़त्म करेगी, उसका स्ट्रेस, है ना? फिर मम्मी ने आज खाने में क्या बनाया उसका स्ट्रेस, हाँ, इसके बाद कौन सा लेक्चर है उसका स्ट्रेस, उसके बाद फ्रेंड्स को व्हाट्सएप करना है उसका स्ट्रेस, है या नहीं? अपने स्ट्रेसेस चलते ही रहते हैं हमारे पास ऐसा। हाँ, एग्जाम्स का स्ट्रेस, एग्जैक्टली, यस करनी, एग्जाम्स का स्ट्रेस, हाँ, फिर क्या, जो जेन्युइन स्ट्रेस है वो तो है, फालतू वाले स्ट्रेस भी बहुत है ना अपने को, करेक्ट और नॉट? अननेसेसरी स्ट्रेस, गेम खेलना है, ये लेवल तक पहुंचा हूँ, आगे का लेवल क्रॉस करना है उसका स्ट्रेस, हाँ, कोई सीरियल्स देखते हो तो इसके बाद इसमें क्या होगा उसका स्ट्रेस, फालतू वाले स्ट्रेस भी बहुत लेना है कि नहीं? अपने स्ट्रेस के लिए ऐसा कोई हार्मोन है क्या? नर्वस सिस्टम पढ़ाया है आपको? नर्वस सिस्टम चैप्टर हुआ? सर ने पढ़ाया आपको नर्वस सिस्टम, न्यूरल कंट्रोल एंड कोऑर्डिनेशन? नहीं? हाँ, इसीलिए तो अपना स्ट्रेस लेने के लिए भी एक हार्मोन आता है। एनीवेज, जब न्यूरल होगा और केमिकल कंट्रोल होगा तो सर बताएंगे हमारे स्ट्रेस को ईज आउट करने के लिए कौन से हार्मोन्स काम में आते हैं और हमारे में स्ट्रेस इंड्यूस करने वाले हार्मोन्स कौन से हैं ये भी बताएंगे। तो अपने स्ट्रेस की फिलहाल बात नहीं हो रही है, अपने को स्ट्रेस बहुत खतरनाक वाले है। प्लान को ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस नहीं होता है। प्लान को क्या क्या स्ट्रेस होता है? वाटर, टेम्परेचर, लाइट, मिनरल न्यूट्रिशन, these are the four major stresses that the plant is undergoing. Water सबसे पहले, light, temperature and mineral nutrition. फूड तो अपने आप वो बनाता है, द प्रॉब्लम इज विद द मिनरल्स कि उसको कौन से, या एग्जैक्टली आएगा आएगा वो हमारे इसमें भी आएगा। हाँ, ओके, yeah, it is going to cause this ABA, it is going to cause this ABA to develop in very large amount. अब क्या होता है, ये जो एबीए है ना बेटा, ये जनरली किल नहीं करता है। एबीए क्या करता है, एबीए इज गोइंग टू कॉज द एब्सोर्प्शन ऑफ द लीव्स। ओके, जैसे ही लीव्स का एब्सोर्प्शन होगा, लीव्स जड़ जाएंगे, किचन बंद हो गया, है या नहीं? व्हाट इज द किचन? किचन मतलब क्या? जहाँ फूड बनने वाला है। फूड कहाँ बनता है? क्लोरोप्लास्ट में बनता है। क्लोरोप्लास्ट कहाँ होता है? लीव्स में होता है ना? तो अगर पत्ते झड़ गए, इफ द लीव्स आर गोइंग टू फॉल डाउन, किचन बंद, किचन बंद तो खाना बंद, खाना बंद तो एनर्जी बंद। अंडरस्टूड? Get me? So what happened because of this? Na, the overall life of the plant comes to a threat. But the main reason for ये पत्ते झड़ाना या फिर to cause the absorption, the main reason is what? Save our soul, SOS. You know what is save our soul? सुना है कभी? SOS, SOS है जल्दी आ जा। कभी सुना है ये SOS? SOS का full form is save our soul. So here, what is the plant intending to do? Not to get killed, rather save itself from losing life. So new leaves can be anytime grown when the conditions become favorable. लेकिन अभी कंडीशंस अनफेवरेबल है, और अनफेवरेबल कंडीशन में अगर और लीव्स ग्रो करेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? ज़्यादा पानी लगेगा, ज़्यादा लाइट चाहिए, ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर चाहिए, ओवरऑल प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ती जाएगी, तो उतना टू मीट अप दैट पर्टिकुलर रिक्वायरमेंट ज़्यादा सब कुछ एक्स्ट्रा एक्सेस में लगेगा, जबकि अभी फिलहाल तो सब स्ट्रेस में है। करेक्ट, देयर इज वाटर स्कैर्सिटी प्रोबेबली, और देयर इज लाइट इंटेंसिटी विच इज नॉट अप टू द मार्क। सो फिलहाल क्या करें? लेट द लीव्स फॉल डाउन, बट द रूट्स आर इंटैक्ट, the stem is intact. So when the conditions will become favorable, we can again regrow the leaves. We have got auxins, we have got cytokinin, we have got gibberellins. So we can use them and we can grow new leaves. But as of now, save our soul. ये अनफेवरेबल कंडीशन को अवॉइड करें, ये स्ट्रेसफुल कंडीशन को अवॉइड करने के लिए ABA आ जाता है। So ABA is also going to be called as SOS hormone. It's called as stress hormone. It is also called as SOS hormone. Okay. See, The hormone is formed from mevalonic acid or xanthophylls, which are derivatives of terpene. So, which is the precursor to this hormone formation? Mevalonic acid. And it is a derivative of what? Mevalonic acid is a derivative of what? Terpenes. So, indirectly, they are associated with terpenes, right? The hormone is transported to all parts of the plant through diffusion as well as through conductive channels. So through xylem phloem also is going to be carried, along with which it's going to undergo diffusion. So as far as possible, whenever the conditions become stressful, the ABA will be synthesized almost in every part and they start moving in every part to reach each and every corner of the plant and SOS. Okay, so it's intended to save life, not to kill the plant. That is the first thing. So though it is going to be a, a inhibitor of plant growth, the intention is not to kill anything. The intention is to save whatever is available, restore the resources till the times become favorable. Okay, that is the main role of AB. Now, functions. Control, it keeps growth under check by counteracting the effect of growth promoting hormones like auxins, cytokinin, and gibberellins. As growth is primarily controlled by gibberellins, abscisic acid is popularly called as anti-gibberellic hormone. What is it called as? Anti-gibberellic hormone. It will inhibit seed germination, growth of excised embryos. Excised का मतलब क्या है? Excised मतलब cut. Okay, excised hormone. Second is dormancy. Abscisic acid acts as growth inhibitor and induces dormancy of buds towards the approach of winter. So as I said, temperature, uh, light, water, इनमें से कोई भी problem है ना, it will come into action. Fine. Because of its action in inducing dormancy in seeds, ABA is also called as dormin. Dormancy induce करने वाला hormone. Dormin. Fine. The buds as well as seeds sprout only when ABA is overcome by gibberellins. Now, when will gibberellins become active? When the amylases will get active. When will the amylases get active? When they will get good amount of water. मतलब स्ट्रेस चला गया, जैसे ही स्ट्रेस कम हो गया, जैसे ही स्ट्रेस निकल गया, वैसे ही जिबरेलिक एसिड हैज ओवरकम दी ABA. Correct? Abscission, ABA promotes abscission of leaves, flowers, fruits in plants. Correct? So it's going to cause the falling down of leaves, flowers, fruits in plants. Senescence. Abscission stimulates senescence of leaves by causing destruction of chlorophyll. This is an important point. How does senescence take place in them? By causing destruction of chlorophyll. Okay, an effect opposite to that of cytokinin, इसीलिए उसको एंटी जिबेरेलिन एंटी साइटोकाइनिन कहा गया है. And it's also going to inhibit the protein and RNA synthesis. So protein synthesis नहीं होगा, RNA synthesis नहीं होगा, chlorophyll damage या destruct हो जाएगा. So in this way, it is trying to control the adverse situation by minimizing the metabolic activities. Is it fine? Got this? Yes. This is the senescence. So that's all with your ABA. एप्स पैसिव. फिफ्थ पीजीआर था. एसओएस हार्मोन उसको हम कहते हैं, ये याद रखिएगा बेटा. डोंट फॉरगेट द वर्ड एसओएस एंड स्ट्रेस हार्मोन. ओके, सो मेवलोनिक एसिड, terpene, abscissin, dormancy, bud dormancy, anti-gibberellin, antioxidant, anti-cytokinin, ये सारे जो वर्ड्स है ये अपने ABA के साथ जाते हैं. With this we complete all the 5 PGRs. Any difficulty anywhere? Anything not followed? followed everything of ABBA. It's actually easy, है ना? 5 में से ये सबसे easy है और छोटा भी है. Okay. So we have completed with the PGRs and now we go ahead with physiology of flowering plants. We're talking about the flowering plants basically. That is only angiosperms we are talking about. And what causes the angiosperms to flower? And how is the flowering going to be controlled? Is something that we have to see in this particular session, which is physiology of flowering plants. Flowering in a plant occurs at a particular time of the year and controlled by many morphological and environmental conditions. Okay, क्या हुआ? Yeah. Many morphological and environmental conditions. But you can see in some plants like hibiscus. You know hibiscus? Hibiscus is your shoe flower, jasper. Hmm. उसमें अगर देखोगे ना तो you will see flowers every day. Every day there is going to be flowering. Correct? Every day in the morning you can go and you can pluck the flowers. देखा है कभी अपना इसका शू फ्लावर का ट्री कभी देखा है आपने? है आपकी सोसाइटी में कंपाउंड में कि नहीं है? Generally it's a common plant everywhere in all like surrounding our area. Okay, so what happened beta? You have one slide. I think yes. अच्छा कुछ है क्या बीच में? I'll stop and share again. I missed one slide. हाँ, okay, yeah. Okay, fine. That is simple. Same thing is there. Same thing is there. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Samiksha. Thank you so much. Yeah. So here we have missed one slide actually, but that's fine. It's the same thing. It's anti-transparent. Abscisic acid can be used as anti-transparent. What do you mean by anti-transparent? What is transpiration? Do you all know? What is transpiration? No one? Yeah, Preksha. Very nice. Yes, Neha. Yes, yes. Correct, correct. So transpiration क्या होता है बेटा? Loss of water. Yes, yes. Loss of water from the uh, overall plant, but specifically leaves. तो उसको हम कहते हैं transpiration. Transparent means what? It is going to, you know, partially prevent transpiration to occur. Okay. So application of minute quantities of ABA to the leaves reduces transpiration to a great extent through partial closure of stomata. So here the stomata is going to close partially. Okay. It thus conserves water and reduces the requirement of irrigation. Right? So that is anti-transpiration. Just 1 minute, beta. There's one call coming which is urgent. So what I was talking about is, uh, huh. So it's going to be a partial closure of the stomata. It thus conserves water and reduces the requirement of irrigation. So ABA is anti-transparent. Hardiness, that is, it is going to promote cold hardiness and inhibit growth of pathogens. That is too simple. Flowering, ABA delays flowering in long day plants. However, in some short day plants, it promotes flowering. Actually, it doesn't promote flowering, but it doesn't stop the short day plants from flowering. Okay. Rooting abscisic acid can be used to promote rooting in many stem cuttings. Okay. So that is how sometimes it is going to help, but predominantly it is going to be a inhibitor. Okay. So that's we had to see of the ABA, and finally again we come to the physiology of the flowering plant. So here, video is why this is coming again and again, I really don't know. Yeah. So basically what are we going to talk about here is how the flowering takes place in the angiosperms. What causes the flowering to occur in the angiosperms is something that we are going to talk about in detail. So see, flowering in plants occurs at a particular time of the year and controlled by many morphological and environmental conditions or factors as we call them. It is proposed that a substance which is responsible for initiation of flowering is synthesized by plants. Now, there has to be something that has to be produced that will cause the the bud to become reproductive bud. Buds will be present, buds will be formed. But if the bud gets converted into reproductive bud, only then flower will be seen. Okay. If it gets converted into a vegetative bud, it's not going to be possible for flower to get formed. Then what causes this bud to become a floral bud? ऐसे क्या होता है कि ये जो बड है ये फ्लावर में कन्वर्ट हो जाए. What is going to happen? Okay, that particular chemical, that particular something है ना, is responsible for converting the bud into a floral bud. Agreed? Agreed. तो ये ऐसा what is it? हाँ, yes बेटा, very good Shruti, yes. So there has to be something called as activation of this chemical. कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा होना चाहिए जो ये केमिकल को एक्टिवेट करे so that the chemical will initiate the process of flowering. You are understanding what I'm trying to tell you? समझ में आ रहा है मैं मेरी बात जो मैं कहना चाहती हूँ कि ऐसा क्या होता है, ऐसा कौन सा केमिकल है जो एक बर्ड को फ्लोरल बर्ड में कन्वर्ट करता है. ओके, सो सी, it is proposed that a substance which is responsible for initiation of flowering is synthesized by the plants when exposed to proper photo period. Now this is a very important word, that is photo period. Photo का मतलब क्या होता है? What do you mean by the word photo? Come on quickly. I want all of you all to answer. Very good, Himanshu. Yes, Neha. Shuchi, correct. Yes, Neha Singh. Siddharth, correct, correct, correct. Yes, Preksha, Ishita, all are right. So that means photo means light and period का मतलब क्या होता है? Period means time, correct? So for the perfect photo period, that means for the perfect time exposure of whom, of the plant for what, for the sunlight will depend if flowering should occur or it should not occur. अब देखो बेटा, ये जो photo period, ये जो word है ना, it is nothing to do with photosynthesis. Photosynthesis will be continuously taking place. Photosynthesis is going to be continuously taking place in in all plants. Let it be a flowering plant or let it be a non-flowering plant. So photosynthesis is the process of making food, and photoperiodism is associated with flowering. So algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, and gymnosperms, they cannot produce flowers. but they can produce their own food. So photosynthesis is going to take place in all green plants, but photoperiodism is exclusively a phenomena seen in flowering plants only. So photoperiodism ये वर्ड का और फोटोसिंथेसिस ये वर्ड का कोई लेना देना है नहीं बेटा, ठीक है? Okay, so we are talking about what? We are talking about the physiology of flowering plants. Is it fine? Yeah. It is believed that this substance is a hormone which is synthesized in the leaves and conducted through the phloem up to the bud to initiate reproductive growth. See, so this substance, this hormone, this chemical, whatever you call it is going to be synthesized in the leaves. देखो फ्लावर बनाना है या नहीं बनाना है इसका डिसीजन लीफ के ऊपर है. लीव्स में एक सब्सटेंस बनता है, फाइन, और ये लीव्स में जो सब्सटेंस है इट विल बी देन कैरीड वाया दी फ्लोएम टू इनिशिएट द रिप्रोडक्टिव ग्रोथ. ओके, व्हाई इन द लीव्स? व्हाई इन द लीव्स? बिकॉज इफ यू रिमेंबर पहले वेजिटेटिव ग्रोथ कंप्लीट होती है, उसके बाद रिप्रोडक्टिव ग्रोथ स्टार्ट होती है, right? So when the leaves will be perfectly matured, only that time the leaves will have the capacity to have been produced the right amount of this particular hormone or the chemical which will get activated due to the sunlight. Okay, and when it gets activated with the sunlight, then this chemical will move across through the phloem to reach the buds, which will convert this vegetative bud into floral bud. ये समझ समझ लेना बेटा, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट वाली कहानी है, इसको बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझिएगा. इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन भर भर के आएंगे आपको फोटो पीरियोडिज्म के ऊपर एंड वर्नलाइजेशन के ऊपर. तो पहले मैं फोटो पीरियोडिज्म एक्सप्लेन कर रही हूँ आपको. गॉट इट? तो मैं वापस एक बार अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग व्हाट इज दिस, प्लीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. ओके, द लीव्स ऑफ अ plant or a tree would be first growing to become matured. So when the leaves will become matured, only then they would have formed a hormone or a chemical. Okay, ये हार्मोन या केमिकल को इन्होंने साइंटिस्ट लोगों ने है ना एक फ्लोरिजेन नाम का नाम दिया है जो आगे आएगा. ऑफ कोर्स बट इज हाइपोथेसिस है, ये इट्स स्टिल नॉट प्रूवन, इट्स जस्ट पुट फॉरवर्ड. तो ये जो केमिकल है, ये जो हार्मोन है, ये बनता कहाँ है? लीव्स में बनता है, ठीक है? ये यहाँ पर ऐसे अटका पड़ा हुआ है, कहाँ पर? लीफ के अंदर. नाउ व्हेन इट इज गोइंग टू गेट एक्सपोज्ड टू द सनलाइट, दैट टाइम, बट हाउ मच अमाउंट ऑफ सनलाइट, वो आगे आएगा, वो आगे आएगा. So when it get exposed to the right amount of light, then this hormone which is formed in the leaves will get stimulated. On stimulation, it will be conducted via the phloem to reach where? To reach the bud. Okay, to reach the bud, to reach the nodes you can say. And अब ये जो bud है, otherwise it would have bloomed into a leaf, या फिर this bud would have bloomed into a branch or whatever, है ना? But to convert this leaf bud or to convert this vegetative bud into floral bud. Floral bud means now the bird will bloom into a flower. ये फ्लावर में कन्वर्ट कराने के लिए, ये फ्लावर में कन्वर्ट कराने के लिए ये जो केमिकल है ये इधर तक पहुंचना चाहिए. Then there will be formation of calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. Do you remember when we had done morphology? That time there was a word called as floral leaves. These all are considered as what? Floral leaves. Why had we called it as leaves? Because this is a bud which should have given rise to a leaf. But just because of this hormone, right, the bud got converted into a reproductive bud, giving rise to calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, causing the formation of a flower. A modified leaf. Very good, Mana. Right. Got this? समझ में आ रही है मेरी बात? So that is what they are saying. तो ये जो केमिकल है ये सबसे पहले बनना चाहिए, ये यंग लीफ में नहीं बनता है बेटा, इट विल बी फॉर्म्ड इन मैच्योर्ड लीफ, ओके। फिर वो मैच्योर्ड लीफ का ये जो सब्सटेंस है, इट हैज टू बी कैरिड वाया द फ्लोएम टू रीच द बड, and when it will reach the bud, only then it will convert that vegetative bud into a floral bud, and when it gets converted into a floral bud, then only the bud will bloom to form a flower. ठीक है, समझी बात? Okay. So two important controlling factors are photoperiod or light period, that is photoperiodism, and low temperature, that is vernalization. So there are two aspects, there are two major factors which control this flowering in flowering plants. First is photoperiodism, second is vernalization. So photoperiodism is exposure to the sunlight for the right amount of sunlight timing, and second is low temperatures. How low temperatures are going to contribute in flowering, वो भी आगे देखना है. The topic of that will be called as vernalization. Is it fine? Have you all followed up till now whatever I have said? Any doubt in physiology of flowering plants? Quickly look at the points and do let me know if anything you have not followed or not understood. देखो एक बार, 1 2 3 4 points only. Quickly एक बार देख लो. No problem. Go ahead. So what is photoperiodism and what is vernalization is something we'll be seeing now. So first is photoperiodism, that is also called as light period. The response of plants to the relative length and alternations of light and dark period with regards to the initiation of flowering is called as photoperiodism. Please understand this. The response of plants, plants का response है ये, किसके साथ response है, किसको वो respond करता है. Suppose I call you by name, आप immediately मुझे respond करोगे, yes teacher, yes miss, yes ma'am, ये आपका response रहेगा. किसको response करोगे आप? मुझे response करोगे because I called your name. Correct? Right? In the same way, this is response of the plants to whom? To the relative length of light and dark. Light and dark, that is day and night. इनके तरफ एक response जो होता है, okay? With respect to what? Not with respect to photosynthesis, but with respect to flowering is going to be called as photoperiodism. ठीक है, समझ में आ रही बात? So it is going to be with what? Response with respect to relative length and alternations of light and dark. With regards to what? Initiation of flowering is called as photoperiodism. This particular definition is asked for 1 mark in your board exams. ठीक है, तो ये आपका definition है photoperiodism. The observations of Garner and Allard, do not forget their names. They're very important. They have been asked many times. Who were the discoverers of photoperiodism? So Allen and Allard and Garner were the discoverers of photoperiodism. हमेशा याद रखिएगा बेटा. So the observation of Garner and Allard in the year 1920 that a variety of tobacco Maryland mammoth, अब टबैको प्लांट के ऊपर इनका कुछ चल रहा था रिसर्च, और उस टबैको प्लांट का नाम क्या था? मैरीलैंड मैमोथ वेराइटी. What was the name of the tobacco plant? Maryland mammoth variety. Now this Maryland mammoth variety का नाम आपके NCERT textbooks में नहीं है, but they have been given in your 12th standard government textbooks. So you ought to remember the names because you're going to write down this chapter for your boards as well. ये boards का chapter है, ठीक है? Got it? So do not forget this. What is Maryland mammoth? Yeah. So they observed in tobacco plant, that is Maryland mammoth, flowered when the relative length of day was shorter than the length of dark. So what do you mean by relative length? Yeah, what do you mean by relative length? In comparison with. So more dark और more light रिलेटिविटी पे होता है. जब डे बड़ा होता है तो रिलेटिवली नाइट छोटी हो जाती है, और जब नाइट बड़ी हो जाती है तो रिलेटिवली डे छोटा हो जाता है. So it's on the relative length. Okay, got it? That is, darkness is more or light is more. That is called as relative length. Fine? Yes, Neha, you had this doubt, but you got it? It's in comparison. It's in comparison. Day ज़्यादा लंबा है या night ज़्यादा लंबा है, right? Yeah. So they observed that this variety in Washington during the summer growing season. So when did they? What was it that caused flowering in this Maryland mammoth? See, when the relative length of day was shorter than the length of dark period. Than the length of dark period. This led to the discovery of photoperiodism. They observed that this variety in Washington during the summer growing season. देखो हाँ, look at this, how it was found out. Similar plants grown in the greenhouse during the winter season flowered profusely. You know what is a greenhouse? कभी सुना है आपने greenhouse के बारे में? What is a greenhouse? Come on, can anyone explain this phenomenon of greenhouse to me? You know, there are many greenhouses. If you go to माथेरान, महाबलेश्वर, लोनावला, कहीं घूमने के लिए जाते तो ग्रीन हाउसेस कितने सारे दिखने को मिलते हैं वहां पर. Do not know what is a greenhouse? Okay, I'll explain what's a greenhouse. Greenhouse is going to be a house made up of glass. It's a glass house. Okay, house मतलब ऐसा बड़ा बिल्डिंग नहीं होता है, ऐसा छोटा छोटा, you know, like ऑलमोस्ट ऑफ आर हाइट से थोड़ा सा ऊपर ऐसे ग्लास हाउसेस होते हैं. यस, वेरी गुड अश्विन. यस बेटा, यू आर राइट. करेक्ट. So it's a place where atmosphere is created for plants and is of glass. Exactly. Now what happens? Because of the glass, the light can enter inside. Agreed? Light can enter inside via the glass. But the gases that would be given out by the plants would get trapped inside only. Glass hai. Glass is not pervious. Glass is not porous. It won't allow the gases to escape. So what would happen? The the gases that the plants will give out during respiration, during their respiration, will remain confined in that glass house only. It cannot escape, right? Similarly, what cannot escape? Heat cannot escape. So there will be tremendous heat trapped inside the lighthouse, inside the glass house, and the gases also will get trapped there only. So during the respiration of plants, of course, plants are respiring, it's going to give out CO2. Now, normal case where this CO2 would have been lost in the atmosphere, but because of the glass, that CO2 remains confined, अटक जाता है उस glass house में, which then can be used again for photosynthesis. Okay, so this is a specialized structured glass house for the growth of plants, which otherwise in open would not flower. ठीक है, तो ऐसे जो प्लांट्स होते हैं ना, जो इस तरीके से ग्लास हाउसेस में बनाए जाते हैं, ग्रो किए जाते हैं, उनको हम कहते हैं ग्रीन हाउस प्लांट्स. ठीक है. एंड व्हाट आर द ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस? बेसिकली CO2 सबसे ज्यादा होता है इसमें, है ना. अब इसको, ये जो ग्रीन हाउसेस है, वैसा ही सेम टू सेम इफेक्ट हमारे एटमॉस्फेयर में भी दिखाई देता है, विच इज कॉल्ड एज ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट. सो ग्रीन हाउस इफेक्ट क्या होता है? देयर इज गोइंग टू बी अ ब्लैंकेट ऑफ गैसेस अराउंड आवर अर्थ's crust, which we call it as atmosphere. So again, the same principle applies. The heat can come inside, but because of this thick blanket of gases, the and heat cannot move out, causing the Earth's temperature to remain hot or bearable. Okay, तो वो ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस बेसिकली होते हैं कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, मीथेन एंड ऑल, which get trapped between the blanket of the atmosphere, which prevents the UV radiations to come on the earth. तो हमें वो ब्लैंकेट ऑफ गैसेस की ज़रूरत होती है। अगर ये ब्लैंकेट नहीं होता था ना बेटा, तो आज अर्थ का टेम्परेचर -5 डिग्री होता था, नॉट एबल टू सस्टेन एंड सर्वाइव। तो हमारे लिए सस्टेन होने के लिए जो एक बेसिक टेम्परेचर चाहिए ना, दैट इज मेंटेन्ड बिकॉज ऑफ दीज ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस। तो दैट इज अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी जो हमें एनवायरनमेंट में स्टडी करना है। एनवायरनमेंट हमारा एक चैप्टर है, 12th स्टैंडर्ड का ही है, तो उसमें हम ग्रीन हाउस गैसेज एंड इट्स इफेक्ट्स देखेंगे। राइट नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द वर्ड ग्रीन हाउस विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू द प्लांट्स which are being born and brought up in a glass house. Okay, yeah, they are kept for a short duration until they adapt to the climatic condition. Yes beta, you are right Manan. Yeah, Samiksha, you are correct. Greenhouse gases helps in trapping the heat. Very true, very true. Okay, so that is the greenhouse effect. Right now we are talking about what exactly is greenhouse. So they are saying similar plants grown in the greenhouses during the winter season flowered profusely. ठीक है? It could be made to remain vegetative in winter by providing extra light. So it depends on us कि हम उसको कैसे प्लांट को हैंडल करना चाहते हैं. On the basis of the length of photoperiods or photoperiod requirements of the plants have been classified into following three categories. So the first category will be called as long day plants or short night plants. Agreed na? Long day, short night. So some plants require long days but short nights for flowering. The other category is short days, long nights. Okay, or they are called as your so those which are going to be only growing when the night will be longer and day will be shorter. So एक है long day plants, short night plants, ये एक कैटेगरी हो गई. दूसरे हैं जो शॉर्ट डे प्लांट्स और लॉन्ग नाइट प्लांट्स, ये एक कैटेगरी हो गई. और तीसरी जो कैटेगरी है, दे आर कॉल्ड एज डे न्यूट्रल प्लांट्स, डीएनपी कहते हैं हम लोग उसको. सो एलडीपी, एसडीपी, डीएनपी. एलडीपी मीन्स लॉन्ग डे प्लांट्स, एसडीपी मीन्स शॉर्ट डे प्लांट्स, डीएनपी मीन्स डे न्यूट्रल प्लांट्स. डे न्यूट्रल, दे आर न्यूट्रल. टेम्परेचर, अपना लाइट, फोटो पीरियड, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है तो भी फ्लावरिंग करेंगे, नहीं है तो भी फ्लावरिंग करेंगे, नहीं है मतलब कम है तो भी. ओके, so such plants which will be flowering throughout the year irrespective of their photo periods, those will be called as day neutral plants. आप देखिए बेटा, based on this information आपको कुछ ऐसा ये लग रहा है कि एक पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप ऑफ फ्लावर्स का, फ्रूट्स का एक सीजन होता है. When do you get mangoes? Come on. When do you get mangoes? Which is the season? मैंगो का सीजन कब होता है? फटाफट आंसर आ गए. यस विभा, पर्णवी, स्नेहा, यस यस यस. अरे ये तो मतलब बिल्कुल ही इजी वाला क्वेश्चन. हाँ, इजी वाला क्वेश्चन मैंने पूछा था ना कि भाई मैंगो का सीजन कौन सा सीजन में आता है? ऑफकोर्स समर. व्हाई लाइक दैट वे? समर्स में ही क्यों मैंगो आते हैं? आप थोड़ा सा कोशिश कर रहे हो समझने की. मैंगो समर में ही क्यों आता है? वेरी गुड पर्णवी, वेरी गुड. ये यस मसीरा बेटा, बिल्कुल सही, बिल्कुल सही. इट्स एन एलडीपी, इट्स अ लॉन्ग डे प्लांट. इट रिक्वायर्स रिलेटिवली longer day for flowering which will cause its fruiting. समझ में आ रही है बात की नहीं? स्ट्रॉबेरीज कब मिलते हैं? चलो बताओ. When do you get strawberries? What is the season of strawberries? है कि नहीं? अभी अभी 2 महीने पहले. Exactly. So why only during winters? स्ट्रॉबेरी में ऐसा क्या है कि वो समर में नहीं आता है? Very nice बेटा. Yes, yes. They are SDPs, they are short day plants. So roughly, can you all now understand long day plants and short day plants? हाँ, ये समझ में आ गई बात आपको? ठीक है, ये तो जैसे सीजनल वेरिएशंस होते हैं वैसे हमारे सीजनल फ्लावर्स, सीजनल फ्रूट्स चेंज होते जाते हैं. द ओनली रीजन इज एक्सपोजर टू द रिलेटिव लेंथ ऑफ लाइट एंड डार्क पीरियड. इजी ना, इजी ना, फेनोमेना फिट हो रहा है माइंड में. हाँ, अब इसको थोड़ा सा और साइंटिफिकली हम लोग स्टडी करने की कोशिश करते हैं, है ना. इधर जो डाला है ओके, आगे जाए. So the three categories which we said just now are SDP, LDP and DNP. Short day plants, these plants initiate flowering when the day length, okay, that is photoperiodism shorter than the certain critical photoperiod, okay. Most of the flowering, winter flowering plants belong to these category. Example, cockleburr, chrysanthemum, sugarcane, tobacco, strawberry, etc. So you ought to remember these examples, that which of these are SDPs. So xanthium, chrysanthemum, sugarcane, tobacco, strawberry, ये सारे अपने SDPs है. These all are going to be found during the winters. During the winters. So these plants initiate flowering when the day length is less or shorter than the certain critical photo period. Now I'll of course explain what is uh, critical photo period. No, beta, no, Arya, I'll explain this. That's what I said. I'll explain this. Okay, now see. First, let me complete this and then I'll talk about the critical photo period. Long day plants. These plants begin flowering when the day length exceeds a critical length. This length too differs from species to species. The long day plants fail to flower if the day length is shorter than the critical photo period. Example, spinach. So LDP का example देखिए, spinach, henbane, radish, sugar beet means अपना beetroot, wheat, lettuce, poppy, larkspur, maize, etc. So they all belong to your LDPs. So they want longer photo periods. Day neutral. These plants can flower in all possible photo periods. They are not fastidious. The day neutral plants can blossom throughout the year. Example, cucumber, cotton, sunflower, tomato, some varieties of tea. आपने कभी टमाटो का सीजन देखा है क्या? 24/7 you get tomatoes. कुकुम्बर हमेशा मिलता है, कॉटन हमेशा मिलता है, उसका कोई सीजन नहीं होता है. चिली, चिली का कोई सीजन होता है क्या? कि तीखा सिर्फ हम लोग तीखा पानी पूरी हम लोग सिर्फ ये सीजन में खा सकते हैं क्योंकि तभी मिर्ची आती है. थैंक गॉड ना, दैट्स रियली अ गुड थिंग जो आज पता चला कि भाई चिली क्या है, ऑलवेज अवेलेबल, इट्स अ DNP. इसलिए हम लोग मस्त तीखा पानी पूरी जब चाहे मन करे तो खा सकते हैं, है ना. या एप्पल, एप्पल जनरली थोड़ा सा आजकल पार्थेनोकार्पिकली प्रोड्यूस किया जाता है. इट्स नॉट अ नेचुरली मेड क्रॉप नाउअडेज, इट्स एक्चुअली एन LDP. Okay, anyway, so you just have to note down the examples of SDP, LDP and DNP, very frequently asked in all your exams. Okay. Intermediate plants. These plants flower only under day lengths within a certain range, usually between 12 to 16 periods of light, but also fail to flower under either longer or shorter conditions. Example, Phaseolus, that is bean, wal, that is Phaseolus. Amphiphytoperiodic plants. Now, see, ये जो चार है वो रेड में दिए हैं और ये उसके सब टाइप्स है. इंटरमीडिएट के ये सब टाइप्स है, इसलिए वो मैंने ब्लैक में ही रखे हैं, ABC. Okay. So amphiphytoperiodic plants, such plants remain vegetative on intermediate days, intermediate day length. Okay. And flower only on shorter or longer day lengths. Example, Media elegans. short long day plants. Short long day plants. Now see what do we mean by this? These plants require short photoperiods for initiation of flowering and long photoperiods for blossoming. समझ में आ गई बात? So to initiate flowering, they require SDP, but till they blossom, they require LDP. So that's called as long day, but short long day. ठीक है? Got it? उल्टा long short day. What is long short day? For initiation, they require long day, and for blossoming, they require short day. So see, these plants require long photoperiods for initiation of flowering and short photoperiods for blossoming. Example, bryophyllum and cestrum. ठीक है? So these all are different group of plants which are going to be showing flowering based on the light ka availability, and it's going to vary from species to species. It's not going to be remaining same. As a general thumb rule नहीं है हर एक के लिए. ठीक है? Yeah. So now we come to a very important phenomena, that is critical photoperiod. बहुत ही important है ये. इसको समझना ही है. नहीं समझेगा तो बार बार पूछ लेना, लेकिन ये अच्छी तरह से समझो बेटा, बिकॉज जब तक आपको क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड नहीं समझेगा तब तक आप कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे एलडीपी क्या है और एसडीपी क्या है. लेट्स सी व्हाट इज क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड. Critical photoperiod is that continuous duration of light which must not be exceeded in short day plants and should always be exceeded in long day plants for them to flower. Okay. There is no relation with total day length. There is no relation with total day length. Most important. Thus, the real distinction between SDP and LDP is whether flowering is induced by photoperiod shorter or longer than their critical photoperiod. For example, they are given the critical day length of xanthium, which is a short day plant. हमने xanthium ये example cochlear है ना, वो हमने किस में देखा था बेटा? शॉर्ट डे प्लांट में देखा था. Its critical photoperiod is 15.6 hours, and that for Hyoscyamus niger है ना, which is a long day plant, is about 11 hours. Yet the former is SDP and it's going to flower, or its photoperiod would be shorter than the critical value. Whereas the latter is LDP and it requires photoperiod longer than its critical value. Both xanthium and Hyoscyamus will flower within 14 hours of light per day. Thus, the day length in which a plant flowers is no indication of its response class in the absence of further information. Okay, so what do you mean by this? I know, man. This won't be understood by anybody. इसलिए मैंने बोला क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझो. ओके, इसको समझना है हमें. देखिए, I'll tell you what is it. Forget about this language. We'll come back to this language. हम लोग वापस आएंगे यहाँ पर. Look at this particular diagram now. Yes. Okay. So this is a critical photo period of this long day plant. This is a long day plant. This is the critical photo period. So when it's going to get sunlight above its critical photo period, flowering होगा. ठीक है. This is a short day plant. So ये इसका critical photo period है. ये critical photo period से जब कम उसको sunlight मिलेगा, then it will show flowering. And this is an A neutral plant. इसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, उसका critical photo period करके कुछ है ही नहीं. Okay, so it's going to flower by default. ये देखो, इधर समझो, understand this. Now, short day plant, day length less than 12 hours for flowering. So इसका मतलब क्या है? ये जो है ये 24 hours का अपना क्लॉक है. इसका डे लेंथ कितना है बेटा? डे लेंथ कितना है कि एक दिन में इस प्लांट को कितना अमाउंट ऑफ सनलाइट मिलता है? तो 12 आवर्स का सनलाइट मिलता है. गॉट दिस नाउ? गॉट दिस? करेक्ट. अब 12 आवर्स का सनलाइट उसको नॉर्मल केस में एवरेज मिलता है. एवरेज मतलब क्या? इन अ ईयर, in a year, how much sunlight is going to be available for this particular group of plants. ठीक है, so let's take the example of xanthium, which is a short day plant. ठीक है, अब ये जो xanthium इस एरिया में ग्रो हो रहा है, इस एरिया में सनलाइट अवेलेबिलिटी ऑन एन एवरेज कितनी है? तो 12 घंटे है. डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस? 12 घंटे है ऑन एन एवरेज बोल रही हूँ, मतलब सीजनल वेरिएशंस है. So during the summers, the amount of sunlight would be how much? More than 12 hours. On the same hands, during the winters, the sunlight will be less than 12 hours. Agreed? Agreed or no? Huh. So the critical photo period of this area is 12 hours. Therefore, the plants belonging to this particular area, उनका critical photo period कितना हो गया? 12 hours. Now you understood? On the other hand, you take polar region. पोलर रीजन ले लो. अब पोलर रीजन में जहां आइस होता है, अपने पोलर कैप्स जो है, टुंड्रा रीजन है, वहां पर अगर आप देखोगे तो व्हाट विल बी द क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड? कैन यू टेल मी? उस पोलर रीजन में क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड अप्रोक्सीमेटली कितना होगा? अराउंड द ईयर एवरेज कितना होगा बेटा? रफली हमारे इधर की बात करते हैं तो 12 आवर्स हम लोग गिन रहे हैं. Around 4-5 hours, correct? Very true. Who has given? Yes, Parnavi, you're right. Around 5 hours ले लेते हैं. So in the polar regions, the sunlight available all over the year is around 5 hours. Agreed? So उधर जो ग्रो करने वाले प्लांट्स है, उनका क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड क्या हो गया? 5 hours हो गया. Correct? Correct. Now those plants which will grow below 5 hours, grow मतलब flower, है ना? The plants which will flower below 5 hours will be SDPs, and those who would be growing above 5 hours will be LDP. Correct? समझ में आ रहा है? So when we talk about a critical photo period, we are talking about that particular region where the plants are specific, endemic, growing in that region, and that region receives how much amount of sunlight on an average in a year. ठीक है? On the other hand, you can take the tropics, रेन फॉरेस्ट रीजन ले लो, वहां पर एवरेज सनलाइट कितना होता है इन एन ईयर? अराउंड 18 आवर्स. करेक्ट? सो ये 18 आवर्स का जो रीजन है, द प्लांट्स व्हिच आर ग्रोइंग इन दैट पर्टिकुलर रीजन, उनका क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड कितना हो गया? 18 आवर्स हो गया बेटा, है ना? नाउ ये 18 आवर्स के नीचे जितने भी ग्रो करेंगे, दोज वुड बी कंसिडर्ड एज एसडीपी. सो जो 15 आवर्स में ग्रो कर रहा है ना, वो एसडीपी हो गया, और जो 22 आवर्स में ग्रो कर रहा है ना, वो एलडीपी हो गया फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर स्पीशीज, दैट पर्टिकुलर रीजन. Are you all understanding? So critical photo period is species to species vary होता है, area to area vary होता है. Basically, the plants which are growing in the polar regions will never be able to even grow in the temperates or tropics, and those which are growing in the tropics will never ever be able to grow in the polar. है ना? इसलिए हम कहते हैं it becomes species specific. Now mango, if you see mango, why mango को इतना रेट क्यों है? Why is it so costly? Why is it so costly? Majority of the mango is exported. Why is it exported? Because elsewhere, nowhere you can get these mangoes the way we get it. Why? Because our critical photo period supports the growth of mangoes. ऐसा क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड आपको और कहीं नहीं मिलता है, इसीलिए मैंगोज जो है ना, दूसरे किसी रीजन में अपने जैसे नहीं ग्रो हो सकते हैं. Did you all understand now? So now you understood what is the critical photo period. Now try to see this. This is a short day plant. Day length less than 12 hours for flowering. So day length is around 12 hours and it requires less than 12. तो कितना घंटा इसको अंधेरा मिला है देखो. For how many hours it got darkness? 18 hours it got darkness out of 24 hours. So this is a winter season. Winters में nights are long. So during the winter season only the short day plants can flower. Now you understood. Long day plant, wheat ले लो, lettuce, spinach, कोई भी ले लो examples. Day length less than 12 hours for flowering. Day length less than 12 hours for flowering. तो अगर इसके इसमें क्या हो जाएगा, ये देखो नाइट टाइम इज ओनली 6 hours एंड डे टाइम देखो कितना बड़ा है. करेक्ट है. सो नाउ यू अंडरस्टूड दिस. तो इसमें अगर लेस देन 12 आवर्स हुआ तो क्या हो जाएगा, फ्लावरिंग इनहिबिट हो जाएगा. सो फॉर फ्लावरिंग, यू रिक्वायर व्हाट, यू रिक्वायर critical photo period से ऊपर in the long day plants. Yes, beta, Shreya, you're right. Yeah, good dates are produced by the Middle East countries. Very correct. Exactly. Day neutral, day length immaterial of flowering. अब बड़ा ज्यादा है या कम है कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, फ्लावरिंग होने ही वाला है. ओके, सो दिस इज योर क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड. सो आई कम स्लाइड अगेन. ये देखो. So critical photo period is that continuous duration of light which must not be exceeded in short day plants and should be always exceeded in long day plants. अब ये critical photo period क्या होगा, ये हर एक species से associated होगा. It's associated with every species. Okay, there is no relation with total day length because a plant who is SDP, okay, is who क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड से कम, जैसे कि उन्होंने जैंथियम का एग्जांपल दिया है जिसको 15 आवर्स का सनलाइट जरूरत है. तो ये शॉर्ट डे कैसा हो गया, ये शॉर्ट डे इसीलिए हो गया क्योंकि इसका क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड कितना है, 18 आवर्स है. तो जब 18 आवर्स क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड से कम सनलाइट अवेलेबल होता है ना, कितना है, हाँ इसका 15 आवर्स है, सॉरी इसका 15 आवर्स है, किसका, जैंथियम का. तो जैंथियम को जब 15 आवर्स से कम सनलाइट मिलेगा तब ये फ्लावरिंग करेगा. तो 15 आवर्स से कम मतलब उसको कौन से सीजन में 15 आवर्स से कम मिलेगा सनलाइट, विंटर्स में. देयरफॉर इट्स अ शॉर्ट डे प्लांट. बोलने के लिए 24 घंटे में से 15 घंटा सनलाइट है, मतलब कितने समय के लिए सनलाइट है, फिर भी ये शॉर्ट डे क्यों है. अब समझा, ये बहुत ही मिसलीडिंग वाला कंसेप्ट है बेटा. इफ यू हैव नॉट फॉलोड आस्क मी अगेन एंड अगेन. दैट्स व्हाई आई टोल्ड यू दिस इज अ वेरी क्रूशियल कंसेप्ट. फाइन. So see, the xanthium is having its critical photo period as 15 hours. So during the 24 hours wala cycle, whenever it gets sunlight less than 15 hours, it will flower. Got this? Got this? On the other hand, if you see hyoscyamus जो है, इसका critical photo period is 11 hours. Is 11 hours. Now, whenever it gets more than 11 hours of sunlight, it will flower. ठीक है, समझा. तो अगर हमने ये जो हाइओस्मस है वो अगर हमने जहाँ जैंथियम ग्रो होता है वहां अगर हमने लगा दिया तो वो ग्रो हो पाएगा क्या, टेल मी यस और नो, हाँ या ना बता. जैंथियम का वेरी गुड स्नेहा, यस बेटा यू आर राइट. माय क्वेश्चन यू अंडरस्टूड. जहाँ जैंथियम ग्रो हो रहा है उधर अगर मैंने हाइओस्मस लगा दिया तो विल इट ग्रो इन दैट रीजन और वोंट इट ग्रो, टेल मी. Some are saying yes, some are saying no. Okay, got it. That means yeah, Shreya. Okay. So let me explain this again. Fine. Pay attention. Pay attention. Now there is something called as critical photo period. What is this critical? What do you mean by the word critical? इतना तो चाहिए. क्रिटिकल, अर्जेंट, है ना. अब in an area around the year, will that area get the same amount of sunlight every day? Will it get the sunlight every day the same amount? No. Correct. वेरिएशन आएगा सीजन के हिसाब से. अग्रीड. अग्रीड. समर्स में सनलाइट ज्यादा मिलेगा, विंटर्स में सनलाइट कम मिलेगा. ठीक है. ओके बेटा. तो इंडिया की बात लेके चलते हैं, मुंबई की बात लेके चलते हैं, बिकॉज वी ऑल आर स्टेइंग इन मुंबई. वी कैन टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ मुंबई. नाउ टेल मी, इन मुंबई ड्यूरिंग समर्स सनराइज अप्रोक्सीमेटली कौन से टाइम पे होता है? यू नो सनराइज कितने टाइम पे होता है? यस, अराउंड 5:30, है ना. अब जो अप्रैल मई वाला जो अपना सीजन है, आपके मोबाइल में भी ये डेटा होता है आज का सनराइज कितने टाइम पे है. कभी कभार ये भी चीजें देखने की कोशिश करें. एनीवे, सो अराउंड 5:30 सनराइज होता है. नाइट कितने बजे स्टार्ट होती है? सनसेट कितने बजे होता है बेटा समर्स में? अभी अभी का जो पीरियड है, अराउंड व्हाट टाइम इन द इवनिंग यू कैन सी द सनसेट हैपन डार्क? करेक्ट, अराउंड 7 o'clock. आराम से 7 बजे तक आजकल धूप रहती है. यस, 7, 7:15, 7:30. फॉर कैलकुलेशन बेसिस लेट अस टेक 6 in the morning to 7 in the evening. ओके, मुंबई की बात कर रही. So 6 in the morning to 7 in the evening, how many hours sunlight we get during the summers? Come on, tell me. How many hours do we get sunlight during summers? 13 hours. बराबर. ये बात तो समझ में आ गई आपके? ओके. अब 13 hours मिलता है ड्यूरिंग दी समर्स. 13-14 hours लेके चलते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. 5:30 to 7:30 वाला स्पैन लेते हैं तो 14 hours चल ऑन अ हायर साइड. ओके. सो मार्च, अप्रैल, मई, जून, जनरली जून तक यही सिलसिला चलता रहता है अपना. अग्रीड. 14 hours. Then if you see during the rainy seasons also, you feel that it is becoming early night हो रहा है because of clouds. But sunrise and sunset जो है ना, वो approximately ऐसे ही 12-13 घंटे का होता है. 12 hours तो minimum, right? Around 12 hours तो होता ही है, उससे कम नहीं. What happens during the winters? Winters में sunrise कितने बजे होता है? Around what time? Come on. In मुंबई की बात करूँ, sunrise in Mumbai in winters approximately, yes, correct, around 7 o'clock, है ना. And by what time sunset हो जाता है? जल्दी लाइट लगाना पड़ता है विंटर्स में. करेक्ट, by around 6 o'clock, yes, 5:36 के बीच में, है ना. सेफर साइड हम लोग 7 to 6 वाला टाइम ले लेते हैं. So how many hours now? How many hours? 7 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening. 11 hours. अब रफली कैलकुलेट करो. 14 hours प्लस 12 hours प्लस 10 hours. 11 नहीं, हम लोग 10 ले लेते हैं बिकॉज हमने उधर थोड़ा सा बढ़ाया है. व्हाट इज योर आंसर डिवाइडेड बाय 3? 14 प्लस 12 प्लस 10. कम ऑन, व्हाट इज योर एवरेज? क्या आया बेटा आपका आंसर? क्या आया बताओ मुझे. चलो, 14 प्लस 10 24, 24 प्लस 12 कितना हो गया?
12 hours is the average.
करेक्ट, है ना. सो अप्रोक्सीमेटली 12. तो बराबर बेटा. तो मुंबई का क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड कितना है? 12 hours. डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड? मुंबई का क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड कितना है बेटा? 12 hours. अब मैंगो का एग्जाम्पल ले लो. टेक द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ मैंगो. ओके, बाय अराउंड मार्च, फेब्रुवरी एंड मार्च, जैसे ही 12 घंटे से ज्यादा जैसे ही सनलाइट मिलने को चालू हो जाता है, फ्लावरिंग स्टार्ट हो जाता है. करेक्ट। सो वो LDP हो गया, बराबर। फ्रूट्स मिलेंगे हमें मई में ऑफ कोर्स, बट फ्लावरिंग तो स्टार्ट हो गया ऑलरेडी मार्च में, फेब्रुवरी मार्च में। आजकल तो हम वर्नलाइजेशन के वजह से है ना, दिसंबर में भी फ्लावरिंग कराते हैं, वो भी जादू है आजकल। वो क्या है वो आगे पता चलेगा वर्नलाइजेशन वाले चैप्टर में, पार्ट में। सो यू अंडरस्टूड हाउ टू कैलकुलेट द क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड। मुंबई का हमने निकाला 12 आवर्स, करेक्ट। कैलकुलेट द फोटो पीरियड फॉर पोलर रीजन। चलो, पोलर रीजन में समर्स का जो एक्सपोजर होता है सनलाइट का, वो कितने कितने घंटे का होता है पता है आपको? डू यू नो?
8 to 10 hours.
नो बच्चा, इट्स मच लेस, 5 to 6 आवर्स, मैक्सिमम 6 आवर्स होता है उनको सनलाइट मिलता है। ओके, मैक्सिमम 6 आवर्स। There are days when there is no sunlight available at all. There is no sunlight available at all. Okay, तो नाइट जो होती है वो बहुत लंबी लंबी होती है वहां की, सनरेज दिखते ही नहीं है वहां पर बहुत बार तो। Yes, zero in fact, exactly. So if you see the critical photo period over there, it will be around 5 to 6 hours, 5 hours. करेक्ट है, करेक्ट है। अब जो प्लांट उधर ग्रो हो रहा है 5 आवर्स, 5 आवर्स से ऊपर थोड़ा भी सनलाइट मिला, 5 आवर्स के ऊपर थोड़ा भी सनलाइट मिला, तो वो फ्लावरिंग करेंगे, वो उधर के हो जाएंगे LDP की SDP। कम ऑन टेल मी, 5 आवर्स से ज्यादा पोलर रीजन में अगर सनलाइट मिलता है तो फ्लावरिंग करेंगे, तो वो वहां की क्या हो गए? व्हाट वी विल कंसिडर देम? वेरी गुड, विल कंसिडर देम एज LDP। वही प्लांट जो पोलर रीजन का LDP है, उसको मैं मुंबई लेके आई। अब मुंबई का क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड कितना है? 12 आवर्स, बराबर। वही प्लांट जो उधर का LDP है, उसको मैं मुंबई लेके आई। वेरी नाइस इशिता, वेरी गुड स्नेहा, वेरी गुड मसीरा, यस। So in Mumbai, that same plant would be called as SDP, because it is going to grow whenever it's going to get sunlight less than 12 hours. Agreed? समझ में आ गई बात? So LDP है या SDP है, that will depend on the critical photo period, not on the amount of sunlight actually it's going to receive. So that's what they are saying. There is no relation with total day length. It is purely associated with what? It's purely associated with the critical photo period. And that is the reason, beta, there are certain species which are endemic to that region. Endemic matlab, they can grow only in that region. When you bring them out and try to grow them in any other region, they won't grow because of one of the major factors, that is photoperiodism. ठीक है, अब देखिए, take the example of tropics, Amazon rainforest, Africa, अमेरिका, अफ्रीका, तो कोई भी ट्रॉपिक रीजन ले लो, ट्रॉपिक रीजन ले लो। ट्रॉपिक्स में the average sunlight that they're going to get during summers is 18 hours. 18 hours का उनका समर सीजन का सनलाइट अवेलेबिलिटी होता है, एंड विंटर में it is approximately around 12 hours. तो 18 plus 12 divided by 2 करिए, बिकॉज वहां पर 2 ही सीजन है। 18 plus 12 divided by 2, come on, tell me, what is your answer? Exactly, exactly. So tropics में critical photo period क्या है बेटा? 15 hours. Get me? Understood? तो मुंबई में जो प्लांट LDP है, जिसको 13 घंटे अगर सनलाइट मिलता है तो वो फ्लावरिंग करेगा, वही प्लांट अगर मैं ट्रॉपिक्स में लेके जाती हूँ, उसको जब 13 घंटे मिलेगा तो उसको हम क्या कहेंगे? वेरी नाइस. Now I hope you all have understood the concept of LDP and SDP. Is it fine now? My dears, ये ना LDP SDP का प्रॉपर या क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड का ना प्रॉपर एक्सप्लेनेशन किसी भी बुक में नहीं है. It's not given in any of the books, my dears. So you know you have to be very clear with this concept when you know, like your teacher is explaining you. I hope now it's fine na beta. अभी भी है किसी को? इट्स माय प्लेजर माय डियर, इट्स माय या बच्चा। सो अभी भी किसी को कोई डिफिकल्टी है क्या क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियोडिज्म में? नाउ ट्राई टू रीड दिस। द क्रिटिकल डे लेंथ ऑफ xanthium which is a short day plant is 15.6 hours. Huh. And that of Hyoscyamus niger, which is a LDP, is about 11 hours. Yet the former means xanthium is SDP and Hyoscyamus is an LDP. Now you understood this now why it is like that way. It is based on what, where are they growing, and what is the average sunlight that particular place is going to experience in 1 year. Okay, Akka, no problem now. Anyone having still any difficulty, please ask me, beta. It's okay. You're not the only one. नहीं समझा है तो पूछो बेटा.
Ma'am,
हाँ बोलो ना. Yes बेटा, go ahead.
ma'am, if any plant wants 7 hours of sunlight and he gets 10 hours of sunlight, then I don't understand it will be SDP or LDP.
It depends on what? It depends on which area we are talking about. So nowadays, what has happened? Every species has defined its critical photoperiod. Scientists have found every species का critical photoperiod. So if अभी उसका अगर वो 7 hours से ज्यादा अगर उसको सनलाइट मिलता है और वो फ्लावरिंग करता है, that means it's going to be an LDP. Okay, 7 hours तक उसको सनलाइट मिलता है फिर भी वो फ्लावरिंग नहीं करता है, मतलब वो हो गया SDP. और अगर सनलाइट मिलता है 7 आवर्स से ज्यादा या कम फिर भी वो अगर फ्लावरिंग करता है, इट विल बी कॉल्ड एज योर डे न्यूट्रल प्लांट. इट विल बी योर DNP. ओके, गॉट इट नाउ? हाँ, थैंक यू बच्चा तन्वी, थैंक यू सो मच. बट स्टिल एवरीवन इज हैविंग ना, यू ऑल कैन क्लियर योर माइंड एंड क्लियर योर डाउट्स बेटा, बिकॉज इसका ना एक्सप्लेनेशन आपको कहीं भी नहीं मिलेगा. कोई भी बुक आप ले लो, कोई भी बेस्ट बुक आप ले लो, आपको नहीं मिलेगा बेटा इसका एक्सप्लेनेशन. इसलिए बोल रही हूँ मैं, है ना? So I hope all of you all have understood what is this critical photoperiod, what is LDP, what is SDP. Huh? It's nothing to do with your amount of sunlight. It depends upon the individual species ka critical photoperiod, what it is. Okay, check. Fine. So this was very important for today's lecture. इससे मैंने last class में बोला था कि next lecture is very important. Please don't miss it. ठीक है? Now we come to a word called as dark period या फिर photoperiodism. Photo means dark, photo means light. Fine. So see, when photoperiodism was discovered, the duration of the light period was thought to be critical for flowering. The duration of light period was thought to be critical. Subsequently, it was found that when the long night period was interrupted, now please understand, long night means short day. Hana? Long night means short day, right? So what it was found that the long night periods, if they are interrupted even by a brief exposure of light, the short day plants fail to flower. इसका मतलब क्या होता है ना? The plants which are, like strict SDPs, when their night time gets exposed to even a, like a flash of light also ना, next day flowering नहीं होगा. बहुत नाटक वाले हैं ये SDP. क्यों वो मैं बताऊंगी, इनका नाटक इतना क्यों है ना वो भी मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करूंगी. बट स्टिल, ओके, सो इवन अ फ्लैश ऑफ लाइट फॉल्स ऑन द शॉर्ट डे प्लांट, बस गुस्सा, इतना गुस्सा तुम लोग के जैसा ही. तुम लोग भी ऐसे ही हो ना, एक चीज तुम्हारे मन के खिलाफ हो जाए तो बस बाप रे बाप, पूरा घर सिर पे ले लेते हो. हाँ या ना? डोंट टेल मी नो, आई नो ऑल ऑफ यू ऑल. हाँ, माई सन इज ऑल्सो ऑलमोस्ट ऑफ योर एज. तुम लोग सब लोग का मुझे नाटक सब पता है. इतनी सी चीज जो करनी है, मम्मी ने ना बोली, पापा ने ना बोली, बाप रे, बात ही खत्म हो जाती है वहां पर, है ना? आई नो ऑल ऑफ यू ऑल. तुम लोग के जैसा ही नाटक ये SDP का है. मुझे पूरी रात इतने टाइम के लिए आई रिक्वायर नाइट पीरियड. How dare a flash of light is exposed? I am not going to flower now. जाओ जो करना है करो, है या नहीं? नहीं मतलब नहीं, अभी मैं फ्लावरिंग नहीं करूंगा मतलब नहीं करूंगा. मोस्ट फास्टिडियस है ये एसडीपी, बट उसका रीजन है, तुम लोग के जैसा नहीं है गरम दिमाग. There's a reason for this. I'll explain that eventually. So see, even if it's going to be interrupted by a brief exposure of sunlight or any light of that wavelength, sunlight के wavelength के जैसा कोई भी flashlight भी आता है ना, the short day plants fail to flower. Thus, for flowering, these plants require long night or the critical photo period rather than the shorter day length. तो डे लेंथ से भी शॉर्टर टाइम पीरियड उनको चाहिए लाइट का, ताकि वो ब्लूम का हो सके. Similarly, long day plants respond to shorter nights than the critical dark period. Curiously, they do not need an uninterrupted dark period. Of course, why will they require uninterrupted dark period? उनको तो जितना लाइट है उतने वो खुश है. They are long day plants. तो जितना ज्यादा लाइट मिलेगा उतने वो खुश है. They don't require, मतलब उनके नाइट टाइम पे अगर फ्लैश ऑफ लाइट आता है तो इनको फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, ये सुबह फ्लावरिंग करने ही वाले, बिकॉज दे वांट लाइट, दे लव सनलाइट, or they love light of that intensity. So if their dark period is going to be, long day plants ka dark period is going to be, interrupted by any flash of light, doesn't matter. Right? Therefore, a short day plant is also called as long night plant, and a long day plant is also called as short day plant. Okay, got it? In the night interruption experiment, when the short day plants were exposed to a flash of light before achieving a critical dark period, flowering was prevented. It is called as light break reaction. लाइट के वजह से जो रिएक्शन ब्रेक हुई है उसको हम कहते हैं लाइट ब्रेक रिएक्शन. इवन टॉर्च लाइट, यस माय डियर, इवन टॉर्च लाइट, अपने हेडलाइट्स, कार के हेडलाइट्स, वो वाले भी इनको चलते नहीं है एसडीपी वालों को. सो दे स्टॉप फ्लावरिंग. बहुत नाटक वाले, मैंने बोला ना. So that is photoperiodism. That is, they require dark period. They require dark period. They are not going to listen to anyone. Is it fine? Understood what is photoperiodism? Any doubt in the linings? Because ये ऐसा है तो ये वैसा है, ऐसे वाले lines आपके टेक्स्ट बुक्स में दिए हुए हैं. So I hope you all are understanding the language. Any difficulty in understanding this particular content of photoperiodism? Look at it. चलो, कोई नहीं समझाए पॉइंट तो पूछो बेटा. Okay, fine. Okay, so that's about your photoperiodism. Same thing that they have put over here. Day night का उन्होंने ये दिया है, ये देखो. This is a proper night that they have received. So flowering is seen. Here there is a white light, so it got interrupted, and therefore flowering नहीं हुआ, no flowering. Here there was red light which was experienced, again no flowering. Far red light, flowering. Red far red light, flowering. Red far red light, not flowering. So ये far red क्या है वो मैं explain करूंगी अभी. ठीक है? What is the mechanism of photoperiodism? आपको photoperiodism क्या है वो तो मैंने explain किया. Now what is the mechanism behind it? What is the ideology behind it? Okay, that we are going to find out. Photoreceptor, the chemical which perceives the photoperiodic stimulus in the leaves is a phytochrome. Phyto का मतलब होता है बेटा plant, chrome का मतलब होता है color. Okay, so there is going to be a phytochrome which is going to perceive the stimulus for photoperiods. The wavelength of light are absorbed by the leaves, of course. This becomes evident by the fact that defoliated plants do not flower or does not flower. Defoliated means जिसके लीव्स निकाले गए हैं उनमें कभी फ्लावरिंग नहीं होगा. क्यों फ्लावरिंग नहीं होगा? क्योंकि लीफ में वो फाइटोक्रोम होते हैं which will take up the sunlight which will initiate flowering. Okay, presence of even a single leaf is sufficient to receive required amount of photoperiod. Only one single leaf is available, no problem. It's sufficient enough to take up the stimulus. Okay. Partially mature leaves are more sensitive to light, while young or mature leaves are much less sensitive to photoperiodic induction. So that is the reason, the leaves which are just newborn leaves, they are of, like they don't have the capacity for the photoperiodism, nor the ones which are undergoing senescence. Matured means the ones who are undergoing senescence, they are also of no use. But the growing ones, so partially matured जो होते हैं ना, they are the ones which take up the stimulus of photoperiodism. Gardner and Allard's early work led to the discovery, isolation, and much of the characterization of the pigment responsible for absorbing light involved in photoperiodic phenomenon of the plant. So because of Allard and Gardner, they could find out this phytochrome के बारे में और details. Borthwick, Hendricks, and their colleagues later termed this pigment as phytochrome. So Borthwick and Hendricks specifically they worked on this particular chemical which Allard and Gardner had actually discovered, and they called this chemical as phytochrome. ठीक है, अब ये कौन से phytochromes है ये समझिएगा. This pigment controls several light dependent developmental processes in plants beside flowering. Phytochrome exists in two interconvertible forms. Cytochrome एक ही है, but it is present in interconvertible forms. What do you mean by that? बंदा एक ही है, but दो तरीके से behave करता है. ठीक है? The red, that is the one which is going to absorb 680 nanometers of wavelength. The red 660 nanometers absorbing form PR, and far red which is 730 nanometers absorbing form PFR. So PR, that is phytochrome red, and PFR, that is phytochrome far red. So PR can absorb a sunlight of 660 nanometers, while when it is going to be converted into PFR form, it can absorb sunlight of 730 nanometers. ये समझ में आ गई बात? बंदा एक ही है, बंदा एक ही है. 660 नैनोमीटर्स लेगा तो वो PR रहेगा, 730 नैनोमीटर्स लेगा तो उसी को हम कहेंगे PFR. Is it okay? So the red absorbing form is PR and the far red absorbing form is PFR. ठीक है कोई डाउट इसमें? So a person who is going to get 660 marks, when he does more study, may get 730 marks. As simple as that. When he gets 730 marks and lets go the thing, he may again get 660 marks. Interconvertible, banda ek hi hai. Phytochrome is one which exists in two interconvertible forms, that is PR and PFR, depending upon what wavelength it is going to absorb. Is it going to absorb 660 nanometers or is it going to absorb 730 nanometers of wavelength? That will depend. Accordingly, it will be called as PR and PFR. Okay? Now see, PR is converted to PFR on absorbing red light. Red light, अपने white light, आपको PAR करके कुछ पता है already. Come on, tell me what is the full form of PAR? In photosynthesis we have studied this. पहले वो बता. White light जो हम कहते हैं, white light या PAR. What is PAR का full form? जल्दी से, come on, quickly. अरे टाइप करने के लिए टाइम जाता है इतना. वेरी गुड. हु इज दिस? Parnavi. Very nice, very nice. Who else? Come on. Manan Joshi. बिल्कुल सही बेटा.
Ma'am, could you please repeat the question again? I got
What is the full
disconnected.
form of PAR in photosynthesis? Manan and Parnavi are right till now. Come on, others, quickly. Yes, Viva, you're right. No need of a question mark. You're perfectly right with your answer. बिल्कुल सही है. 3 बच्चों ने दिया है. स्नेहा, yes, you're right. Very good, Samiksha. Come on, boys. Come on, others. Very nice, Sonali. Very nice. Correct answer. चलो चलो फटाफट आगे जाना है अपने को. The ones who I have named just now, they all are right, beta. Very good, Sneha. Yes, it's photosynthetically active radiation. The radiation which is coming as your white light is going to be coming under your PAR. That is photosynthetically active radiation. One more question. What is the range of PAR? How many nanometers to how many nanometers is PAR? Come on. Range बताओ मुझे. PAR की range. Viva, you're right. Samiksha right, Sneha right, Shruti 7,000 नहीं बच्चा. Ishita right, Manan right. Yes, it's 400 nanometers. Yes, Vyo. 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers. Yes, Shruti, you're right now. Okay, so it's 400 nanometers to 700. Now see, 700 में 660 included है कि नहीं? इसीलिए PR जो है उसको readily red light मिलता रहता है 660 nanometers का. So that is what they are saying. PR is converted to PFR on absorbing red light. So who will absorb the red light? PR, phytochrome red will absorb the red light. And now it will get interconvertible. So it will convert into what now? PFR. Okay. Now PFR is converted to PR rapidly, absorbing far red light or slowly in the darkness. So ये बात थोड़ी सी ये लाइन समझने की कोशिश करो बेटा. जब भी 660 nanometers of sunlight will be available, the PR will get converted into PFR. Once the PFR is going to be formed, it will start absorbing 730 nanometers of wavelength, okay, which is beyond our PAR. PAR 700 तक ही होता है जो फोटोसिंथेसिस के लिए एक्टिव है, लेकिन उससे ज्यादा वाला भी तो मिलता ही है हमें. सनलाइट की जो वेवलेंथ है वो 700 के बियॉन्ड भी अर्थ पे आती ही है, बराबर. लेकिन फोटोसिंथेसिस वाले पिगमेंट उसको पिकअप नहीं कर सकते हैं. तो योर विब्ग्योर इज नॉट केपेबल ऑफ पिकिंग अप द 700 के आगे वाला सनलाइट. तो वो 730 नैनोमीटर्स वाला सनलाइट कैप्चर करने के लिए किसकी जरूरत होती है? पीएफआर की जरूरत होती है. तो पीएफआर बनना पड़ेगा कि नहीं, पहले बनाना पड़ेगा कि नहीं? So what will the PR do? PR will take up 660 nanometer and get converted into PFR. Once PFR is formed, it will absorb what? 730 nanometers and again get converted into PR. Why? Why it will again get converted into PR? So that more 660 ले ले, more PFR बनाए. More PFR बनेगा, उतना more PR बनेगा. समझ में आ रही है बात? समझ में आ रही है बात? है ना? So PR will help in the formation of PFR. PFR will help in the formation of PR. Interconvertible forms है. But when the sunlight is available, that time 730 nanometers वाला जो PFR है ना, वो rapidly PR में convert होता जाता है. And once it is dark, ये जो conversion है from PFR to PR becomes very slow. Okay, so during the daytime, PR to PFR is very fast, and during night time, PFR to PR is very slow. ये बात समझ में आ गई है ना? So see, it's very slow in darkness. The slow conversion to red absorbing form is under thermal control. तो PFR का PR होना ये किसके अंडर है? टेम्परेचर के हाथ में है. जितना टेम्परेचर कम है उतना PFR स्लगिशली PR में कन्वर्ट होगा. जितना टेम्परेचर ज्यादा है उतना PFR फटाफट PR में कन्वर्ट होगा. ठीक है? तो टेम्परेचर ज्यादा कब होता है? ड्यूरिंग द डे टाइम. Agreed? Now see, during the day When white light is available, PFR accumulates in the plant. Correct? This form of phytochrome is inhibitory to flowering in short day plants and stimulatory to the flowering of long day plants. इसका मतलब क्या हो गया बच्चा? ड्यूरिंग द डे पीआर का पीएफआर होना है ना, वो फास्ट है। पीएफआर जितना ज्यादा अक्यूमुलेट होता जाएगा उतना उतना एलडीपी ग्रो होता जाएगा, फ्लावरिंग उसमें इंड्यूस होता जाएगा फटाफट। ओके, तो जितना पीएफआर ज्यादा है ना एक्यूमुलेटेड, उतना एलडीपी का फ्लावरिंग फास्टर। ठीक है, और जितना पीआर ज्यादा है ना एक्यूमुलेटेड, उतना एसडीपी का फ्लावरिंग ज्यादा, जो आगे आएगा। सो से दिस फॉर्म ऑफ phytochrome is inhibitory to the flowering of SDP but stimulatory to the flowering of LDP. In the evening, PFR undergoes thermal and spontaneous decay to change to PR. Okay, this pigment is stimulatory. This means PR. Okay, is stimulatory to the flowering in short day plants and inhibitory to the flowering of long day plants. Therefore, in SDP interruptions of dark period with a flash of red light, it converts PR again to PFR and flowering is inhibited. समझा? तो देखिए, मैं हमारे लोकल लैंग्वेज में आपको ये बात समझाने की कोशिश करती हूँ, then you will understand this much better. ठीक है? See, PR है, PFR है. Okay. Now this PR is absorbing red light, 660 nanometer, getting converted into PFR during the day. Okay. Now this PFR is being accumulated during the day. PFR बनता जाता है ज़्यादा. अब देखिए, for example, PR ने X amount of 660 नैनोमीटर का लाइट एब्जॉर्ब किया, हाँ, और 2x PFR बना, 2x PFR बना। अब 2x कन्वर्ट हुआ PR में, मतलब अभी 2x PR है, उसने जितना अमाउंट ऑफ सनलाइट एब्जॉर्ब किया तो वो क्या बन गया, 4x PFR हो गया। 4x got converted into 4x PR, absorbed red light, 8x PFR. So who is getting accumulated during the day, beta? 2x, 4x, 8x, 16x. Who is getting accumulated? PFR is getting accumulated, right? Understood? Now let's come to the physiology of flowering again. The things that you have understood for photoperiodism, we'll come to that. Suppose 100x of PFR accumulate होता है, 100x PFR accumulate होता है in 13 hours. In 13 hours. And the critical photo period of that area, critical photo period means उतना photo period चाहिए PFR accumulate करने के लिए, is 12 hours. 12 hours जब सनलाइट मिलता है तो 80x amount of PFR accumulate होता है. One more time. 12 hours जिसका critical photo period है, तो 12 hours का critical photo period means 12 hours में कितना accumulation होता है, तो 80x PFR accumulate हो रहा है, 80x हो रहा है। ये बंदे को 12 आवर्स से ज्यादा चाहिए एक्सपोजर ऑफ सनलाइट, इसको कितना मिला, 13 आवर्स मिला, तो 13 आवर्स में 100x PFR मिला, बना, तो 100x PFR बना मतलब इट विल स्टार्ट फ्लावरिंग इन योर LDP. नाउ यू अंडरस्टूड. अब ये प्लांट का क्रिटिकल फोटो पीरियड है 80x ऑफ PFR. नाइट जब लॉन्ग हो जाएंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा बेटा, जल्दी नाइट हो जाएगा, मतलब क्या हो जाएगा, PFR बैक कन्वर्जन चालू करेगा टू PR फॉर अ लॉन्गर टाइम, तो ड्यूरिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइम पीआर का एक्यूमुलेशन बढ़ गया, पीएफआर का कन्वर्जन बढ़ गया, तो है ना। तो जब वो 80 से कम पीएफआर एक्यूमुलेट होगा, 80 पहुंच नहीं पाता है वो, 80 पहुंचने तक रात हो गई, तो 80x पहुंचने के पहले ही अगर अंधेरा हो गया तो 80x भी नहीं बना पाता है। सपोज उसने 60x बनाया, तो 60x में क्या हो गया, 60x में क्या हो गया, इट गॉट कन्वर्टेड इनटू पीआर एंड पीआर स्टार्टेड एक्यूमुलेटिंग। जितना पीआर ज्यादा एक्यूमुलेट होगा, दैट विल कॉज एसडीपी टू फ्लावर। नाउ यू अंडरस्टूड द बैलेंस हाउ इट इज। So PFR accumulation more than critical photo period, LDP flowering. Less than critical photo period मिलेगा तो जितना चाहिए उतना PFR बनेगा ही नहीं, PFR जितना कम बनेगा उतना SDP का flowering. Okay. So see, during the day when the light is available, PFR accumulates in the plant. This form of phytochrome is inhibitory to the flowering in short day plants. So more PFR, short day plants grow नहीं करेंगे. Okay, but it will stimulate the flowering in the long day plant. In the evening, PFR undergoes thermal and spontaneous decay to change into PR. So अभी PR accumulation started. This pigment is stimulated the flowering in short day plants. लेकिन क्या होता है कि अर्ली मॉर्निंग सनराइज 5:30 को ही अगर हो जाता है तो जितना अमाउंट PR एक्यूमुलेट होना चाहिए उतना होगा ही नहीं। करेक्ट है, उसके पहले ही वापस पीएफआर बनने को स्टार्ट हो जाएगा। अर्ली मॉर्निंग 5:30 को, सनराइज जल्दी हुआ इसलिए समर सीजन में। तो शॉर्ट डे प्लांट्स कैन नॉट फ्लावर इन समर and long day plants cannot flower in winters, as simple as that. It depends on what accumulation of PR, accumulation of PFR. More is the accumulation of PFR. PFR का accumulation कौन से सीजन में होगा बेटा, समर्स में होगा, है ना। और PR का accumulation कौन से सीजन में होगा, विंटर्स में होगा। So that is the reason that PR and PFR का जो balance है ना, that will maintain the LDP, SDP forms of your plant का flowering. Is it okay? और इसीलिए they are saying अगर रेड लाइट आया रात के टाइम पे एसडीपी में तो फ्लावरिंग गेट स्टॉप, इनहिबिटरी हो जाता है। इंफ्रारेड आया, इंफ्रारेड मतलब बियॉन्ड 700 नैनोमीटर, तो क्या हो जाएगा, वापस पीआर फॉर्मेशन हो जाएगा और फ्लावरिंग हो जाएगा। हाँ या ना, कुछ समझ रहा है, पीआर पीएफआर क्या झमेला चल रहा है वो कि नहीं? यू आर फॉलोइंग व्हाटएवर आई एम सेइंग? दिस इज अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल फेनोमेना. Okay, so this is how the flowering will be continued. This is how the flowering will be continued in LDP and SDP. So see this, yours becomes very clear. P660, it absorbs the red light during the day. Sunlight hai to red light will be absorbed and it will be changed to PFR, है ना. PFR 730 will be exposed to total darkness. So the far red light will change quickly in the presence of sunlight to P660, and in total darkness it will change very slowly to 660. So in this way, this PR and PFR are going to get interconvertible for SDP and LDP ka speciality. It is also interesting to note that while shoot apices modify themselves into flowering apices prior to flowering, that is by themselves cannot pursue the photoperiods. The site of perception of light and dark during duration is in the leaves. It has been hypothesized that there is hormonal substance that is responsible for flowering. This hormonal substance migrates from the leaves to the shoot apices for inducing flowering only when the plants are exposed to necessary inductive photoperiod. SDP or LDP. Importance of phytochrome. Phytochrome is located in plasma membrane. The phytochrome far red, that is PFR form, is considered to be biologically active form and is responsible to initiate a number of physiological processes such as elongation of stem and leaves, plastids morphology and differentiation of stomata, seed germination, photoperiodism, ट्रांसपिरेशन, सबके ऊपर पीएफआर का एक इफेक्ट दिखाई देता है सिस्टम. The floragen hormone, when the proper amount of light is perceived by the leaves, they produce a chemical called as the flowering hormone, which undergoes stabilization in the dark. Later on, this chemical passes to the shoot apices and causes its differentiation into a flowering shoot. So it has been hypothesized. They have not yet found out this hormone called as floragen. उन्होंने एक हाइपोथेसिस पुट फॉरवर्ड किया है कि फ्लोरिजन नाम का एक हार्मोन लीफ में बनता है जो ये फोटो पीरियड्स की वजह से, ये पीएफआर एंड पीआर की वजह से ट्रांसपोर्ट करता है टू रीच टू अ पर्टिकुलर बड and cause it to get converted into a floral bud. Kajlat Jan named this hormone as floragen. Don't forget his name, Kajlat Jan. Chailak Khan, a Russian investigator on photoperiodism, according to him, the floragen complex, the true floral hormone, includes two groups of substances formed in the leaves. So he's saying that floragen complex is because of two hormones. Gibberellins necessary for the formation of growth of stem, and anthocyanins, a substance which are necessary for flower formation. That's put forward by Shailak Khan. But don't forget Kajlat Jan who named floragen. Okay? So I'll stop over here for today. A small part of photomorphogenesis and vernalization remains, which I'll continue tomorrow, and we'll start with a new chapter tomorrow. This week I'll be taking your 3 lectures. Next week, Tuesday and Wednesday's lecture would be taken by Mithun sir. Thursday I will take next week. But this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, generally Tuesday is your Mithun sir's lecture. Wednesday, Thursday, I take. But for this week only, I'll be taking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 consecutive days. And Mithun sir will be taking next week का जब संडे का उनका लेक्चर होने वाला है, कमिंग संडे का. Next week, instead of me taking your Wednesday's lecture, sir would be taking your Tuesday, Wednesday's lecture. Thursday lecture will be conducted by me again. Okay. So tomorrow and day after we will continue. I'll complete this topic tomorrow. It will get completed within half an hour, 45 minutes. And then we will go ahead with a new chapter. Which one and what we will be discussing it tomorrow. Okay. And don't worry, tomorrow is in the morning. I'll again give you a recap of your PR and PFR and whatever I said today. Okay? But hopefully you all have understood majority things. This is what I feel. Fine. Chalo. See you all tomorrow, same time, 8 to 10, as usual. Wednesday, Thursday जो अपना lecture होता है वो होने ही वाला है. Okay? Bye.